Now here's an interesting one. I had the fuel drawing off the right tank, and then I've switched over to the left tank, and the right tank was still showing full. And then all of a sudden the right tank dropped down, but then shortly after that went back up to full again. So now I have two tanks both full. What probably happened was I fell asleep and some air-to-air refueling happened. My other theory, which is probably more likely, is actually that we've got a sticky fuel sensor in that tank. It's going up again. Why are you doing that?
Bravo Tower, Echo Yankee Zulu, ready, holding point Alpha 8, departure via Avalon.
Echo Yankee Zulu, ready, immediate.
Affirm, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Yankee Zulu cleared for immediate takeoff.
There we go, line up. Airspeed's coming alive on both.
Okay, tell Foxtrot, the Jet Ranger out on your right. They're overflying the threshold area for this. Let's go to Foxtrot, that helicopter has you
Captain's available, fuel pump stays on, left turn.
Looks like he's going to pass in front of you.
I know I normally shoot like an introduction on the ground with my camera and I talk about the plane and what we're doing today, but today was a bit of a last minute decision to come flying because, well, take a look outside. The clouds are not on the ground. The freezing level is not close to the ground. Freezing level is actually about 7,500 feet where we're heading today, and there's also hardly any clouds where we're heading to today as well. So I had a spare day, and I have access to this aeroplane, and I wanted to practice a few things, and I just thought, why the hell not?
Echo Yankee Zulu, you're cleared to transit class Echo airspace, tracking direct to Avalon, thence Bobo 4000.
Cleared, direct Avalon and Bobo 4000, Echo Yankee Zulu.
There are some days when I do like to plan, you know, weeks in advance. There are some flights that I plan a long way in advance, the new ones, the difficult ones. But there are also some days where, and I'll be totally honest, I did think of this yesterday because I looked at the weather for today and I thought, that doesn't look like Melbourne. Maybe we should go flying. It's very, very pretty today. This is Port Phillip Bay that we're flying over at the moment. We're coming to Avalon Airport, where if you've been to Australia, or if you live here and you've ever been to an air show in Australia, hopefully you've been to the Avalon Air Show. That's obviously based down here at Avalon. That's probably why they called it that. Also got another toy with me today. This is my GoPro wireless remote, which means that for the 3 cameras that I have, they're all connected. I don't know whether you can see that. It says 3 cams. They're all connected to this remote. So if I want to turn them off and turn them on again and save batteries, all I need to do
Echo Yankee Zulu, that aircraft now 5 miles to 12 o'clock and appears to still be descending now through 3,500 unverified.
Ah, got him.
And Echo Yankee Zulu has that traffic in sight.
Echo Yankee Zulu, thanks.
Traffic.
About 45 minutes into the flight now. Here's an interesting one. I didn't know whether you know this, but Echo Yankee Zulu actually creates avgas as it flies. It's quite amazing. It's a unique feature of this aircraft. So these are my fuel gauges down here. Now you can see I'm on the left tank at the moment, which I haven't been using since I started this flight. Well, I've just switched across a couple of minutes ago, but on the left tank, I've been using the right tank since I departed, and that right tank is, so he's 45, so it's about 45 minutes that right tank's been running. I took a picture as well, which I'll put up here. I didn't actually film it, but I'll show a picture. That's what it was at when I just changed the tanks over. It's gone back to full again. That makes me want to say 2 things. First of all, know your engineering team. Now, you know Stephen and Blue Demon and the guys from there who I've had on this channel before. Before I record this piece, I actually sent Stephen a quick note just to say, look, is that something to do with the sensor? He sent me a message back just saying that, yeah, that probably is related to the sensor. But the other thing it reminds me to say as well is always have a written fuel plan if you're flying as well. So you can't just rely solely on the gauges, because occasionally, like now, they will fail. So I always write down, obviously, time of departure when I leave the airfield, and then when I swap tanks over, I normally write down, I just have a single line on my flight plan, which is basically the time and the tank. So I've got 45 right, 15 left, and that was when I made the change. That was time 15 to the left. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor the fuel flow, write down the times that I'm switching tanks, and then not rely on the gauges themselves. But I'm more going to pay attention to the fuel flow that I'm seeing, which is a completely different sensor, and the fuel flow is showing always showing 13.1, yeah, 13.2 gallons at the moment, which is completely within our limits for this flight, and the timings. So I'll be switching back to the other tank again every half an hour. So what I'm going to be doing now is doing some decision making in the flight, which is, am I actually going to go back, am I going to continue this flight to Mount Gambier, or am I going to amend my flight plan and head back to Moorabbin and get this looked at? The fact that I don't have a specific purpose apart from wanting to just get out and fly today makes me think that whilst I've got erroneous readings here, I don't want to mess around with that too much, because what if there is something actually wrong with the fuel in the tank? It's unlikely that the tank would go, you know, that it's not going to make fuel, obviously the sensor's not going to go back up, but you know, what if I'm draining fuel out of there or something's happening which I'm not too sure about. So I think what I'm going to do is actually plan to go overhead Warrnambool and turn back. So let me do that quickly and then I'll catch up with you in a second, because I'd rather get the plane on the ground with the engineering team looking at it than just plough on when I've got incorrect readings here on a flight that it's just a fun flight today.
Sierra, contact centre now, 126.8, g'day.
Echo Yankee Zulu, we're actually going to turn around here at Warrnambool and track back on our flight plan to Avalon and then back to Moorabbin, descending to 3,000 feet.
Echo Yankee Zulu, just confirm, so you're going to go present position direct to Avalon, so then Avalon, then map Moorabbin, confirm?
Firm, present position to Avalon, then Moorabbin, Echo Yankee Zulu, at 3,000 feet.
Echo Yankee Zulu, there's no additional IFR traffic.
Echo Yankee Zulu, thanks.
Alright, let's do that. So let's go direct to, on our flight plan, Avalon. Activate that. Let's descend. And the other advantage we have today, of course, is it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful, we'll go vertical speed and descend down, we'll do a cruise descent. A beautiful VFR, no clouds day. So I can turn us around whilst being visual with the terrain. I know my lowest safe altitude here as well is actually well below us. In fact, I was just looking at that. To confirm 2,500 on this leg, I had planned to go back in this direction at 3,000 because we're going to be heading easterly now as well.
Zulu, just to confirm, ops are normal.
Firm, ops normal, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu.
So I've done that. I'm direct to Avalon. I've then put Moorabbin after that. I'm on the correct tank. Let's take the aircraft home and see what Blue Demon have to say about it.
Echo Yankee Zulu, contact centre on 126.8.
1268, Echo Yankee Zulu. Melbourne Centre, Echo Yankee Zulu, maintaining 3,000. We're tracking direct to Avalon, then Moorabbin now.
Echo Yankee Zulu Centre, just confirm you'll be overflying Avalon.
Firm, overflying Avalon, then visual into Moorabbin, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu, thanks.
The avionics that I have here show, you can see its fuel flow is just over 13 gallons. It shows that I've used just over 15 gallons as well, remaining would be 76. Now that's based on the fuel flow and the sensors in the engine, nothing to do with the fuel gauges, which is what is determining the levels here. What I don't have is an indication of what the balance is between the two tanks, apart from the fact that I am logging that in my fuel log here. So what I'm going to be doing is ignoring the fuel gauge now, basing how much fuel I have on the information that's coming from my avionics here, from the fuel flow, and the time that I've been flying as well, but base swapping the tanks purely on my timing. Oh, you know what we're not going to be able to do is Wales. We didn't get as far as the ocean. Believe you still have the upper hand if you spot a whale before me.
Echo Yankee Zulu is 9 miles to the southwest. On descent, inbound, received Oscar and visual.
Echo Yankee Zulu, Moorabbin Tower, joint base, runway 35 left. You're following a caravan about 3 miles ahead, also joint base.
35 left, following a caravan, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Echo Yankee Zulu, clear to land.
Clear to land, Echo Yankee Zulu.
Inditech Kilo, follow swing turning base.
Follow swing, engine tank Kilo.
Alright, let's go get this looked at.
Hello. It's like every episode now ends with you fixing something on the plane.
I didn't break it this time, it wasn't me. I think it was. What did I say last time? Stop breaking in every flight.
It was a B.